Crazy enough, guys. Look who I ran into. This guy's real big, real jacked. And he says, why do I call him a scumbag on the internet?
Boom. Sean Strickland just said that in public. He called out the mega-rich wealth coach, Derek Moneyberg, on camera for the entire world to see. And Moneyberg's response was even crazier. I'm suing you for every penny you've got. This is insane. This isn't just a simple argument. This one fight could actually bankrupt one of the biggest UFC stars on the planet. Today, we're breaking down every single detail of how this one video turned into a multi-million-dollar court battle. Okay, so who are the two people in this unbelievable story? First, you have Sean Strickland. In the UFC, this man is an absolute animal. He's a former champion, a machine in a cage, and he is literally famous for saying whatever he wants, whenever he wants. With Strickland, there are zero filters. His entire brand is being 100% real, even when it gets him into huge trouble. And then you have this guy, Derek Moneyberg. His real name is actually Dale Butzkowski, and he's way harder to figure out. He sells $1,000 online courses that promise to make you rich. His fans think he's a genius.
I got my black belt in 3 years and 7 months. It's not even a cocky thing, it's just objectively true of like, if we go to the gym and lift weights, I'm stronger than more than 99% of the people in the gym. Even with all the UFC guys, a lot of the UFC guys I've trained with, and the other ones, I'm not calling them out or challenging them, but I'm like, yeah, I'll be happy to train with you, respectfully. And so, you know, many of the top fighters in the world, the people that know me and trained with me said amazing things. And then, of course, people around them, you know, of course, they ask, you know, hey, you know that guy, is that legit? And they'd be like, oh, yeah. But, you know, for people that don't train much or people that took, you know, 12, 15 years to get their belt, they're a little offended by that. I put in the same number of hours. I just did it in a more compressed amount of time, and with, you know, many of the top coaches in the world. So I don't even think it should be so controversial, but
his critics, they say he's a total scammer. This beef had been simmering for months, but Strickland's video was like pouring gasoline on a bonfire.
He says, why do I call him a scumbag on the internet? This is why I asked. And again, you could say...
So you got to do that for camera. You can't have a private conversation like an adult. You can only do things for the internet. You can't have a private conversation.
Because what I have to say is factual, and you guys...
It's not factual. You just...
So you guys, let me tell you why I don't... Would I like to get free money from this guy? Yeah, sure. Would I pay me money for...
But Sean, when I just asked you, hey, have a conversation...
Well, you asked me why I called you a scumbag.
Then you need to have your camera. You can only talk on the internet.
But I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why I called you a scumbag.
Only on the internet.
But I'll tell you why I called you a scumbag.
You're the one being the fucking scumbag right now.
No, I'll tell you why.
I'm saying it to your face.
I'll tell you why.
You're the one being the fucking scumbag right now.
I love my fans more than anything, you guys. And would I love to go take free money from this guy and peddle? Yeah, would I love to make free money from this guy? I would. I absolutely fucking would. I fucking would love to. But this man takes advantage of low-paid UFC fighters who are great men who are just trying to make their mortgage and live a life. And he takes advantage of these men and he uses their platform to peddle financial scams, and he sues people, and what he does is so dishonest and so scummy that no, I will not, just because you're nice and you shake my hand and you say you're my buddy, no, you are a fraud, you are dishonest, you fraud people. This is why you don't want to be on camera, because you know everything I say is true. You've sued your people. I will never peddle his shit to you guys, because I love you guys, man. Financial advice is easy. It's easy.
This video exploded, getting more than 160,000 views overnight. The next day, every single MMA and grappling page on the internet had reposted it. It was everywhere. It didn't take long for Moneyberg to go on Instagram and threaten Strickland. He wrote, "I don't recall ever meeting someone so insincere as Strickland seems to be. I've been a gentleman to this guy in every way. I've informed him, and others have informed him, that he is maliciously spreading lies and false information about me and my business. He has had numerous opportunities to stop and apologize. He continues to spread lies, however, so now we will go to court, and Sean will reimburse me for the damages he has created." Unfortunately, that is now the reality of the situation, but Strickland's reply was furious. "Well, I'll tell you what, buddy. When you sue me and we call in Jake Shields, and in a room full of people, we put him in a deposition where he said, he's good, but I mean, he paid me over $500,000. How do you think I know you exist? Fighters who you paid to peddle your BS sent me your page. These are guys you paid, and that being said, you're in Vegas all the time. Roll through, sign a waiver. Then Moneyberg replied again, trying to position himself as the calm businessman. To those saying things like, put your money where your mouth is and fight him. I'm a professional businessman, not a professional fighter. I train MMA for fitness and self-defense. Sean is a former UFC champion and seems to know very little about business or legal matters. This is very simple. Sean said numerous false and malicious statements about me and my business. He will now be made to put his money where his mouth is and reimburse me for the damages done. I've tried numerous times to inform him of the truth and ask him to stop spreading lies. Every time he doubles down and continues to say false and harmful things. Now he owes me for those damages caused and any further damages he creates by continuing his campaign of false statements and malicious lies after our legal matters are resolved some months or years in the future. I'm open-minded about revisiting a public grappling match with him if it makes sense to do so and is a win-win situation for the both of us. I don't believe I'd beat him in a UFC rules fight, and I don't believe he could submit me in a 5-minute grappling match. But first, I will collect the damages I'm owed and invest it wisely. These Instagram posts went mega viral, with thousands of people commenting, trolling Moneyberg, and flooding the internet with their opinions. Only 2 days later, the real bomb dropped. On August 30th, Derek Moneyberg filed a real lawsuit. The caption was crazy. Defendant Strickland maliciously spread lies, causing irreparable harm to my personal and professional reputation. I am seeking compensatory and punitive damages. Derek Moneyberg is suing Sean Strickland, the former UFC Middleweight Champion. This is wild. And you know what? This is not the first time Moneyberg has been in a legal fight like this. In 2021, he sued a YouTuber named Spencer Cornelia, who exposes fake gurus.
Being sued by Wealthy Inc. and Dale Buskowski. Wealthy Inc. is the owner of the trademark Derek Moneyberg, and this is what he's claiming. Here's the damages he incurred. So he wants $2 million, the amount that I was unjustly enriched because he believes there was commercial speech. The plaintiffs be awarded exemplary or punitive damages against defendants, an amount approximate to punish defendants, and to make an example of defendants to the community, which I thought was real interesting. I've never heard that before, like to the community. Is that basically setting a standard? Like, this behavior is untolerated.
But this wasn't some quick settlement. It turned into a brutal, multi-year court battle that cost Cornelia hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees.
Important part, attorney's fees. I've spent $282,598.04, and it has been just a few weeks shy of 2 years that we've been in litigation.
In the end, Cornelia actually won the case when a judge threw out the lawsuit, ruling Moneyberg was a public figure and there was no evidence of malice. But here's the crazy part. The judge denied Cornelia's request to have Moneyberg pay his massive attorney fees. Now both sides are appealing. You know Strickland's lawyers are going to use this? They'll say it proves Moneyberg has a history of using expensive lawsuits just to financially drain his critics. Moneyberg's team will argue the old case has nothing to do with this one. But if a judge allows it, it could show the jury that Moneyberg is a litigious person who uses the legal system to try and silence people. So, how this will escalate? Now we get to the heart of the matter, how this legal battle will unfold. Strickland's secret weapon is the anti-SLAPP defense. This legal strategy is designed to protect individuals from lawsuits that aim to silence free speech, particularly in public discourse. California and Nevada have special laws to stop people from filing huge lawsuits just to silence critics. If Strickland's lawyers can successfully argue that his statements were opinions rather than malicious lies, they could have the entire case dismissed. Strickland lives in Nevada, which is a huge deal. If they win, not only does the case get thrown out, but Moneyberg might have to pay for all of Strickland's lawyer fees. The whole thing could flip on him. Lawyers are scrutinizing everything Strickland said for phrases like, "I think," or "in my opinion," as these are protected forms of speech. However, it's not a guaranteed win for Strickland. The credibility of both parties will be crucial. Moneyberg's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt is under scrutiny as well. He received it in 2021, but critics point out that he never competed at higher belt levels, raising questions about the legitimacy of his rank. Strickland has accused him of McDojo economics, pay the rent, get the belt. This could resonate with a jury, as they may understand the difference between earning a rank and buying it. If Strickland can convince the jury that Moneyberg purchased his black belt, it could severely damage Moneyberg's credibility. For Sean Strickland, the stakes could not be higher. If he loses and faces a $12 million judgment, he could be financially ruined. We're talking about his entire life's earnings gone. He could go bankrupt, lose his ranch, and see his sponsors vanish. But if he wins, it would be bigger than any UFC championship. He would become a legend who took on the fake guru industry and triumphed. A poll showed that 73% of voters are already on Team Strickland. However, a jury isn't Twitter. They're everyday people who might be swayed by a coach lamenting his ruined reputation. Strickland's unfiltered personality could backfire in a courtroom. This case is a huge moment that will help decide the line between free speech and defamation for the entire creator economy. So, as we wrap this up, we're left with one huge question. Is Sean Strickland a reckless maniac who is about to lose all of his money? Or is he a hero who's risking everything to stand up for other people?